God works in mysterious ways. A saying said to every religious person at least once in their life. Please take a seat and grab your popcorn because I'm about to tell you a personal story about loneliness, prayer, and friendship as I walk on a still life joy. Moving to Malawi at 16 was supposed to be exciting. New school, new house, new life, and new friends. When I got there, I didn't expect loneliness to hit so hard. No friends, no one to talk to, and a language I couldn't understand. I felt like an outsider. On my first day of class, I saw three girls looking at a class list on a board with each student's name listed under the class name. I asked them for directions with the little English I knew, and they escorted me to my class. Everything was going well, but here's a twist. Loneliness hit me really hard, and all I could think of was, what am I doing here? To make things worse, at home my dad was relentless about speaking English even at home. I felt like I had no escape, like there was nowhere to breathe. And that's when I did something desperate. One night, when my sister were asleep, yes, because we share one room, I knelt beside my bed and prayed one of the most desperate prayers in my life. I said, Lord, I'm feeling lonely. Please send me a friend. A girl, preferably. The next day, I went to school expecting things to stay the same. But something unexpected happened. Please wait for part two. Have you ever prayed with all your heart, wondering if anyone was listening? This was me at 16 years old. Did God just answer my prayer? I prayed yesterday. There's no way. So the next day, I walk into class expecting things to stay the same. My teacher announces, Class, let's welcome a new student. A French student will be joining us today. Wait, what? My brain froze. Was God answering my prayers this fast? Okay, let's pause. I know God is powerful, but this felt like a little too much. When I was younger, I prayed for my sick grandpa to get better for years and years, but he didn't make it. So I was confused. Was this a real answer or was I just imagining things? At that moment, I told myself, who cares? What if it's fast? I should be celebrating, right? So the new student walked in, and it's a boy, not a girl. Oh, I prayed for a girl. But I rushed up to him, nervous but determined to say something. I blurted out something like, Hi, I'm Gloria. I speak French too. If you need anything, I'll be here. I'll be here if you need anything. We started to hang out more and more. At first, things were good. I finally had someone I could talk to, and the loneliness was starting to ease. But here's the thing, language wasn't the real problem. Have you ever had a friendship that seemed perfect, but something feels off? Here's why. Wait for part 3. Is it possible to be surrounded by people but feel extremely lonely? If you haven't watched part 1 and 2, please go and watch the previous videos in order to understand this one. As time passed, I realized there was something off. Of course, we could speak the same language, but we didn't understand each other too. It's not just about words, it's about values and worldview. I'm a Christian, and I see God in everything. He's in my studies, in my decisions, in my relationship. But my friend, who was an atheist, didn't see what God had to do with anything. And whenever we talk about God and other things like culture or literature, it felt like we spoke different languages. We were totally on different pages. This is when things get real. I didn't know how to set boundaries. I didn't know how to stand up for myself or say something when something doesn't sit right with me. I also felt lonelier than ever. That's when my mental health took a toll. Anxiety, depression, name it. But things started to change. You remember my first day of school? I met three girls. Those strangers, I asked them for directions. They ended up walking me to class. We bumped into each other more and more on the bus, in the library, during school events. We connected, we laughed, we shared stories about everything books, life, family, and of course, God. And suddenly it hit me. Were there's the answer to my prayer? I didn't know it at the time, but God had placed these amazing people in my life before I even asked for them. My loneliness wasn't just about a language barrier. It was about needing people who saw me and who understood me at a soul level. I can't even explain the relief that I felt. I finally understood what it meant when the Bible says in Matthew 6:8, your father knows what you need before you ask him. God knew I needed these girls. He knew exactly what my heart was crying for, even before I did. And let me tell you, God's timing is always perfect. So if you are feeling lost or alone, or you feel like your prayers are being answered, or maybe they're being answered but in a wrong way, God already knows what you need and He's already working on it. Thank you for the series and see you again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.